This is In Her Words, where modesty is explored, not defined, where women speak freely, and where the conversations don't end when the camera turns off. Hi Rahma.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
How was your day?
Good. The weather is good, so we're good.
It's just starting.
Yeah.
Welcome to In Her Words, where we talk about modesty in a modern world. So before we start, paint us a picture of who Rahma is.
Ooh. So funny because I actually paint, so
Ooh, okay.
I would paint a picture. I think it would involve my favorite color, which
Okay.
is purple.
Okay.
And there's definitely a sky somewhere, like the hues of blue and clouds in the sky.
I like that.
So yeah, maybe a field of like lavender, and then
Okay, so the way you're describing yourself is through color.
yeah, exactly.
Let's start with, what does modesty mean to you?
That's a good question. It doesn't have this one like fixed meaning to me,
Okay.
because I've been a hijabi for almost more than 10, 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So modesty back then had like a different meaning. Modesty now means the way I talk, the way I walk. It's aura. It's how I perceive things and how I get perceived, you know, because you can perceive things in an immodest way. Like some people have like a immodest mindset, you know. So it's a mindset, it's the way how I look, how I act, how I talk, like I told you. It changes, of course, in a deeper way over time, you know.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. I think for all of us, when we are younger, we think of modesty just as clothing.
Yeah.
And then throughout time, we realize that there's so much more to it. There's a lot more depth to modesty.
True.
Do you think modesty is subjective? Like I said, again, you've been a hijabi most of your life now.
Yes and no
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
Because like you said, like we are hijabis, so it shows like on us, like physically we look modest, we dress modestly.
Yeah.
So I would say not really subjective, because when someone really looks at us, they instantly know that what do we stand for, what do we believe in.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say an expectation, but of course the best scenario or the best model would be to also be modest in your action, you know.
Okay.
So this is one side of like being subjective, but the other side is to not really have an expectation, you know, because some people like look at you and they take you as whole, like you're just another human being, and what you look like doesn't really matter to them. And this can, I think it can affect us positively, you know.
As a hijabi model, have you faced any challenges within the industry, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. It's been like so I've been in the industry, I would say maybe 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 4 years. And of course in the beginning it was very I was experimenting with my own style and fashion sense. But being out there within the community of different people and different backgrounds, and a lot of eyes staring at me, whether it's in real life or social media, of course, because it opens like a bigger audience.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge from the perspective of people asking, oh, like, what is she trying to do? Like, as a hijabi as well, I need to understand that I represent not only a community but also a religion and what I believe in. And I need to be very mindful, because if I do something, another people in the industry, whether it's girls or people that look at me, like up to me in a way of like my fashion sense on Instagram or social media, be like, oh, like Rahma did that, I can do that. And I'm not the best model, and I'm not the best, like I'm trying my best every day, and I'm trying to be better than today and yesterday. But the challenges would be that people really didn't understand what I'm trying to do, so they underestimated me in a way, because they didn't think that there would be space for me in this industry, you know. Hijabi models or hijabi like modest influencers or whatsoever. We're literally the minorities. Like I can count us on our hands, like on my hands right now. So that was a challenge to prove to, of course, to myself, and of course to other people, just to make them bitter in a way. Like, hey, like this is me, and I'm not gonna change what I look like or what I believe in, just to fit the industry or, you know, to find a place in the industry. Yeah.
So you felt like you needed to prove yourself more than a regular girl would. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, a girl who's not covered would.
Yeah, definitely. Like compensating, I think you would understand, compensating with personality, compensating with a little bit of boundaries, or like, you know, be like, yeah, I'm down, you know,
Yeah.
just to show how easygoing you are, because sometimes you're outside, people might judge you, you know, like I told you, it's subjective. They might like look at you in a really like harsh, rigid way, like, oh, like I don't think she'd like be fun or nice to talk to, or down to collaborate, or down to do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like the opposite, you know. We're starting to like raise awareness of like telling other women, of course, hopefully, inshallah, and doing it the right way, like, hey, you can still express yourself. You can be online, you can like do modeling, or like join gigs where you represent the industry, or like represent your community in a really cool, fashionable way, to really like hold up the standard of when brands or like communities say like we're all like inclusive, you know, to join that inclusivity, then we need to join. Either me or my fellow like friends or other models, like we need to like step in and be like, okay, you guys claim to be inclusive, then include us or include other hijabi women. We'd like to see their representation, you know, because we are a category, you know, of
To follow that up, do you think the industries are inclusive
back then
towards modest women?
Yeah, back then they weren't. I think now they're starting to be more understanding of what it takes to be actually inclusive. Like they would like, because I also work in production, so I'm starting to see how, oh, like producers or like cast director be like, oh, like we need a hijabi model, we need like a light-skinned person, we need a dark-skinned person, we need like this hair type and this hair type, like to actually like show inclusivity. And I think that's beautiful. Like now they're starting to be aware.
So can I ask, at what age did you cover up?
So I think grade 8 or 9. So I was
like 14, 15?
Yeah, 15, 14, 15. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like at that age, it's quite hard for a lot of girls to start wearing hijab, because you're at that stage in your life where you want to follow the trends and you see all of this going on. Because I had a similar story where my mom covered up first, and then it was my older sister. And then as a young girl, like I was around 12, 13, and because I looked up to them, like they were my role models, I was like, I want to do the same thing. But I feel like at such a young age, people tend to question your choices. They're like, maybe she's not ready, like why would you do that? And they all, not all, but a lot of them tend to think that maybe someone forced you to do that, because you wouldn't come up with that yourself.
Such a young age, or like you still didn't develop what is life and what do you want. And
or like you said, like the true meaning of modesty. But again, I definitely believe in the fact that it comes with trial and error. Like the way I dressed up back when I was a kid.
Of course.
I'd never dress up like that now. So you definitely think that modesty can be fashionable. Like it never stopped you in any way.
Never, ever. It never stopped me, you know, because like you said, we want to be trendy and follow the latest fashion trends, but at the same time, what I did was like, okay, I can still do this while being hijabi and modest, you know, like. And it was like a phase where I was okay, and people were like, interesting. You know, even my mom and my sister, they were like, they let me be, because it's my right to express myself, as long as I'm trying my best to still stick to my hijab and my modesty. And that was the most fun part, I think. It's really fun, it's really creative. Like from then, like I just started being more creative because it's like trial and error, like you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can definitely be fashionable.
I definitely agree. Describe your style in 3 words.
Evolving and chic and classy. Like I can go from abaya and very like Arabic look to like very streetwear, but at the same time making it classy. So
But it still represents you.
yes,
Like it still has a touch of Rahma in it.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I saw a video just today, like a TikTok, where this girl, she's a hijabi influencer, and she was talking about how hard it is, no, how easy it is to be a Muslim non-hijabi sometimes, because no one ever questions you. No one ever decides to give you their opinion, because sometimes like they might not really see that you're a Muslim to begin with.
Yeah.
But as a hijabi Muslim, especially when you are in this industry,
Yeah.
you are first and foremost, they see your clothes, you see who they are, and everyone has an opinion to say, and everyone questions you with whatever you choose to do. It's like,
Anything
why
that
did you
comes
do that?
in their mind, they're like,
why are you wearing that? Why are you here? Like you said, why are you here?
yeah, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
True.
Get that. Yeah. How do you deal with that type of backlash or these type of people?
Like I told you, I just do my thing. I make, like in the beginning, of course, I was overthinking it, and I was very self-conscious of everything that I'm doing, how I'm moving, how I'm dressing, and I'm just like, I can sense their judgment and their looks and their why and how and what, and But now it comes to a point you just genuinely don't care, because you know what you're doing. As long as you're trying your best to be in the best picture possible, to represent who you are and what you believe in the best picture possible, you're like, I'm not doing anything wrong. If anything, you guys should
mind your business.
Like if you want to talk about religion, and you should actually mind your business. And if anyone has to say anything, like we know, like an advice should be done in private and should be done in a really nice way. This is not your life, you're just giving advice. And yeah, I think you develop immunity to whatever anyone has to say.
And do you think brands nowadays understand modest women?
I wouldn't say all the brands, because like when you say brands, like there's like a big umbrella that everything falls under, because everyone has like you said in the beginning, is it subjective, because for example, sportswear is like a gap that might be subjective. Like some people would find this okay modest, and some people wouldn't find this modest enough. So that's where like
I agree.
people.
What makes an outfit feel modest to you?
I would say it needs to have like something flowy, either like a wide leg pants, or like a full-on like balloon pants that looks like a skirt, or a skirt. Or if I'm wearing something slimmed down, I need to have like a cape on, or like a kimono. Like I need that, I feel like there's movement, like a flowy movement, and also it gives things structure to it, like a different, that would be nice.
Okay. How would you define modern modesty?
I would say subjective. It all goes back to subjectiveness. But there is, in my opinion, and the way that I was brought up, there's like red lines where you cannot cross in a way. Because if you're saying that you're hijabi, or modest, you can't take away or like subtract certain elements. The pillars, you can't take away one of the pillars. You just like
collapse.
Yeah, something would look very wrong. And you would represent it in a very, I would say bad. It's just like not the best optimum model. So if modern modesty, we can say that it's fun. We're experimenting and always finding what we resonate with, and what we vibe with. And we set our own trends, trying to have fun within, like, I would say limits, but like Yeah.
I get it. It's still
You
a
know
bit. We have certain borders.
Exactly. Experimenting, fun, expressing yourself through color, you know, expressing yourself through structure, like I said, and styles.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many styles.
Okay, what's something you're loving right now?
Okay, I'll say in life, I think right now I'm enjoying my privacy.
Okay.
You know, there's this certain type of peace and happiness that comes within, like, I could like do something and go somewhere and I might not even take a picture. I don't know if I'm becoming like my parents, you know, and I can say it to you if I want to or if I got the chance to and if I want to, you know. So I'm enjoying privacy and like only showing 1% of what's going on social media. And I'm enjoying the weather. Please, yes, please. And I'm enjoying winter clothes, like the layering of like outfits. You know, I'm wearing coats, I'm wearing sweaters, I'm wearing t-shirts over sweaters, I'm wearing sweaters over t-shirts. I'm enjoying that.
I love that. Yeah, because it's like this is our time to actually layer pieces.
To shine and see people do what we've been doing the whole year.
Exactly. Because like usually in summer, I stick to an abaya.
Yeah, it's flowy and makes everything easier, yeah.
But then I'm like, in winter, forget about that. We're doing something different.
Give me the coats, give me the sweaters.
Everything. Yes, I agree. Okay. And what's a habit or a mindset you're trying to embody in 2026? What's like Rahma in 2026?
So I started doing it like 2025, but I love it so much that I'm bringing it also into 2026.
Okay.
I would say quality over quantity.
Definitely.
And everything. And the more you practice it, the more you see it in little things, like in food, in work, in people, in clothes. Quality over quantity in everything, even in the way when you speak, you know.
What's one thing that makes you feel grounded?
Like family and quality time, like makes me the most grounded, like away from anything else.
Yeah. So quality time is your love language.
Yeah, definitely.
Same.
Yay.
Are you currently reading something or maybe listening to an interesting podcast?
So I'm almost done with this book called Memories of a Waller.
Okay.
Such a British book. Like anyone British would be like, damn, like this is so niche, right? Because it talks about a person, like a woman. It's just the journey of her, like taking that courage, because she never had this courage of having her own like voice when it comes to choices in her life. It's always her parents or her mother, and she just chose to go visit them because they invited her, and she went to this countryside, and it's really interesting.
Interesting. I want to ask you, what would you recommend to a girl who is starting her modest journey?
I'd say be kind.
Okay.
Take it easy. You thinking about it is like 50% of what needs to be done is done. You know, and you're already taking like good deeds by just thinking about it. Like imagine actually doing it. That's like so beautiful. Alhamdulillah. Just surround yourself with the good people that looks like you. It's something that I had, but like out of topic, that to look around, and if you don't see people that looks like you, it's not the ideal lifestyle, because being surrounded by people that looks like you actually helps, you know, in a way.
I agree.
I wouldn't say it grows on you either like good or bad. It just makes you feel like you belong. By physical. Sometimes, yes, we understand that we can look the same, but we don't have the same like principles or mindset. But the mere idea of us being recognized under like specific umbrella makes a difference.
For sure.
You know, like the way who you surround yourself with, your friends, what influences you, what do you follow, what do you see, what you consume,
Yeah.
you know, because everything feeds within your heart and your brain.
Yeah.
And be kind and understand that, like we said in the beginning, modesty is not only the way you look, it's the way you act, the way you talk, the way you walk, what you perceive things, and how you want people to perceive you, you know.
I love that.
Thank you.
Well, Rahma, thank you so much for
you so
sharing your
much.
world with us and with me.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so
Yes.
fun. This is so cute.
I
It's
love
such a
this.
girly pop time. I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I want it to be, like a very much just having some talk with your
Tea,
friends.
yeah.
Usually we have like coffee or matcha, but I'm
It's
having mojito
And tea.
and tea. But you know what? It's good.
It's really
I'll
good.
accept it.
Yeah.
That's that.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I loved it.
I loved it too. It was so
Yeah.